If you're over 60 and wake up more tired than when you went to bed, if your belly feels harder than it used to, even though you're eating less, if your legs feel heavy and your memory slips just a little more each day, this may not be normal aging. It may be your liver. Yes, your liver, that silent organ tucked under your ribs, the one nobody talks about until it's too late. You see, fatty liver disease doesn't scream. It whispers. It doesn't cause sharp pain or visible wounds. It simply steals your vitality, one tired day at a time. You stop walking as much. You forget what strong sleep feels like. You lose your appetite for life. And worst of all, most people, even doctors, write it off as just getting older. But here's what top geriatric specialists like Dr. Min Jae Lee from the Seoul National University Hospital are now saying. After 60, an inflamed liver is behind more symptoms than we once imagined. From brain fog to chronic fatigue, from leg cramps to unshakable belly fat. This isn't about liver failure, this is about liver fat, a quiet accumulation of lipids inside your liver cells caused by decades of habits you thought were harmless. White bread at breakfast, too little fiber, and late-night snacking. And it's not just a cosmetic issue. Fatty liver increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even liver cancer. But it starts with something far more subtle, your energy. That's why many elderly patients say the same phrase. When it's finally diagnosed, I thought I was just slowing down. No, you were being drained from the inside. Now here's the part no one tells you. You can feel better. You can reverse fatty liver, and you don't need pills to do it. In fact, recent studies from Harvard Medical School and the Korean Society of Nutrition have shown that certain foods can trigger autophagy in the liver, a cellular cleanup process that melts internal fat and restores function. But here's the catch. You need to eat with intention. Every meal is either medicine or poison, especially after 60. That's why this video will walk you through 6 food-based interventions rooted in science and ancient wisdom that can help your liver heal, regain strength, and restore your energy from the inside out. But stay to the very end, because the last food on our list, it's the most powerful and the most misunderstood. And before we go deeper, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from and what time is it right now? You'd be surprised how many people in your city are living this same silent fatigue. Because this isn't about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming your freedom. And that starts with knowing the truth about your liver. You wake up, make your coffee, and reach for something quick, maybe toast, cereal, or a biscuit. It's harmless, right? You've done it for years. But here's what most people don't realize. This exact routine is one of the biggest enemies of your liver, especially after 60. White bread, processed grains, instant oatmeal, even those so-called healthy breakfast crackers. They all share one dangerous trait. They're rapidly converted into glucose. And when your body can't burn all that sugar fast enough, especially if you're not moving as much as you used to, it stores it in the worst place possible, your liver. This is how non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, is born. Not from alcohol, not from toxins, but from food. From the very food that sits on your kitchen table every morning. In fact, Dr. Hwang Sun-woo from the Korea Institute of Aging Research revealed in a 2023 study that over 68% of seniors with persistent fatigue had signs of liver fat accumulation, even though their blood sugar looked normal. Why? Because the liver is the body's shock absorber. It soaks up what the rest of your body can't process, and after years of glucose spikes, your liver becomes inflamed, swollen, and unable to do its job. It can't filter toxins. It can't regulate hormones. It can't protect your brain from cognitive decline. And yet, the damage continues with every slice of white toast. Now, here's the paradox. You might be eating less than you used to, but if the quality of your food hasn't changed, your liver is still under attack. The solution isn't starving yourself. It's feeding your liver what it actually needs. Whole grains, fiber-rich vegetables, healthy fats, and certain herbs have all been shown to reduce liver fat and inflammation. But before we get into what helps, you need to understand the cost of what hurts. Here's a quick test. If your breakfast is beige, sweet, or comes in a box, it's likely contributing to liver fat. If your energy crash, the worst part, you feel the decline long before the doctor sees it in your labs, long before your ALT or AST markers go up, long before you're warned about possible fibrosis. But you can reverse the trend. You can choose foods that disarm this silent killer. Stay with us. In the next section, we'll reveal a critical mineral that your liver is silently begging for, and why most people over 60 aren't getting enough of it. You don't see it in your mirror. You don't feel it like a cut or bruise. but it's there, quietly draining your strength, slowing your steps, dulling your thoughts. Your liver is inflamed, and at the root of this slow collapse, a single mineral that your body once had plenty of, and now after 60 is dangerously low: magnesium. Yes, magnesium. Not a trendy supplement, not a miracle pill, but the very mineral your liver needs to clean itself, burn fat, and stop the spiral of fatigue that's been creeping in over the last few years. Here's the truth: over 80% of people over 60 are magnesium deficient, and they don't know it. Why? Because no one's checking. Standard blood tests barely detect intracellular magnesium, but your cells feel it, your liver feels it, your legs feel it. You felt it too. You just didn't know what to call it. That burning in your calves at night, that heaviness in your belly, that fog in your brain after eating, that restless sleep that leaves you more tired in the morning, it all connects to a starving liver, desperate for the one mineral that keeps its inner chemistry in balance. Magnesium isn't just a helper, it's a regulator. It tells your liver when to clean house. It helps enzymes break down excess fat. It neutralizes the oxidative stress that causes liver cells to swell and fail. Without it, the fat stays, the toxins stay, the damage spreads. And guess what foods are rich in magnesium? Not the soft breads, not the crackers, not the white rice that's so common after a certain age. It's in pumpkin seeds, it's in dark leafy greens, it's in legumes, avocados, and raw cacao. But those foods are almost gone from most elderly diets. Why? Because they're not soft, because they take preparation, because nobody told you they mattered, but they do. And when your liver doesn't get what it needs, your whole body slows down. Fat builds in places it never did before. You feel full all the time, even when you barely eat. You start skipping dinner, thinking it'll help, but it only makes the deficiency worse. This is the trap. The more you age, the more magnesium you need, but the less you get, unless you fight for it. And here's the silent miracle. When magnesium levels rise, the liver wakes up, enzymes switch back on, fatty acids get processed, bloating recedes, sleep deepens. Your energy doesn't just return, it surges. You don't need a supplement. You need food with purpose. Food that isn't beige, processed, or sweet. Food that feeds your cells, not your habits. Because what you're calling old age might just be nutritional starvation. Coming up, the most hated fruit on every senior's plate, that might just be the most powerful ally for your liver's healing. Stay with us, because the final two foods will flip everything you thought you knew about aging. You probably tasted it once in your life, made a face, and never tried it again. It was too strong, too strange, too bitter. But that bitterness, that was the medicine your liver has been begging for. There's a fruit that most people over 60 avoid without realizing it may hold the key to reversing years of silent liver damage. It's called bitter melon, and it does exactly what its name says. It brings bitterness, not in taste alone, but in how it challenges everything you've believed about food, comfort, and health after a certain age. While most sweet fruits spike your blood sugar and force your liver to work overtime, bitter melon does the opposite. It slows everything down. It calms the storm. It gives your liver room to breathe. What you call a strange vegetable is, in reality, one of the most potent liver-healing foods on Earth, especially for those over 60. In a recent study published by the Korean Journal of Hepatology, elderly patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease who consumed bitter melon regularly saw a significant reduction in liver fat within just 6 weeks. The reason? Bitter melon activates AMPK, an enzyme that signals your liver to stop storing fat and start converting it into clean, usable energy. This is not just theory. This is cellular-level healing. Bitter melon also mimics insulin, which means it helps regulate blood sugar naturally. For seniors battling insulin resistance, prediabetes, or unexplained weight gain around the belly, this fruit is a game changer, because when your liver is inflamed, the rest of your body suffers. But when your liver starts to heal, your digestion, energy, and metabolism all begin to shift in the right direction. So why isn't this fruit in every household? Because it doesn't taste good, because it challenges comfort, because it forces you to choose healing over habit. But if you can get past the flavor, just 2 or 3 servings a week may help reverse damage that's been building for decades. You can saute it with garlic and olive oil. Add thin slices to your soup. Blend a small amount into your green juice. It's not about loving it, it's about choosing your liver over your cravings. Bitter melon isn't a miracle. It's a message your body understands. A message that says, I'm done feeding the problem. I'm ready to undo it. And once you begin, you'll start to feel it. A little more space in your belly after meals, a little less pressure under your ribs, a little more energy that doesn't crash after eating. Because healing doesn't always come sweet. Sometimes it comes bitter, and that bitterness might just be your second chance. In the next section, we'll look at a connection no one is warning you about. How poor sleep and a fatty liver are linked in a vicious cycle. What you're doing each night may be silently undoing all your efforts, and the fix, it starts before your head even hits the pillow. You go to bed tired, but rest never comes easily. You wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes hot, sometimes anxious, sometimes for no reason at all. By morning, you feel heavier, slower, more confused than the day before. It's easy to say it's just aging, but the truth is, something deeper is happening inside your body, and it begins, again, with your liver. Most people don't realize this, but your liver works hardest while you sleep. Between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., it enters its peak repair mode, flushing toxins, balancing hormones, and converting fat into usable energy. But if your sleep is shallow or interrupted, this repair cycle is broken. Night after night, your liver falls behind, fat accumulates, inflammation rises, and all of it stays hidden beneath the surface until your body starts sending signals you can't ignore. Waking up with brain fog, feeling nauseous before breakfast, craving sugar late at night, struggling with constipation, bloating, or that stiff sensation in your lower back. These aren't signs of bad luck or natural decline, they're warning lights, and they're tied directly to your nighttime habits. Poor sleep raises cortisol, the stress hormone. High cortisol leads to fat storage, especially in the midsection and liver. It also increases insulin resistance, which means more sugar floating in your bloodstream, and more of it being stored as fat inside your liver cells. So even if you eat well, sleep deprivation alone can sabotage everything. And here's the worst part. As your liver gets more inflamed, your sleep gets worse. That's right, the damage feeds back into itself. A fatty liver can cause your body temperature to rise at night, interrupt melatonin production, and even interfere with deep breathing. That's why many seniors report waking up every night at the same time, around 2 or 3 a.m., with no explanation. Their liver is overwhelmed. Their body is sounding the alarm, but there's a way out, and it starts not with more medication or another supplement, but with small shifts in your nightly routine. Start by eating dinner at least 3 hours before bed. Give your liver a chance to process before you lie down. Avoid late-night sugars or processed carbs. Instead, opt for something liver-friendly, a small serving of steamed greens with olive oil, or a spoonful of bitter melon stir-fried with garlic. Even a handful of pumpkin seeds can deliver calming magnesium that supports liver detox and better sleep. Create rhythm. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. Yes, even on weekends. Turn off screens 30 minutes before sleep. Drink water early in the evening, not late. And most importantly, stop accepting poor sleep as normal. It isn't. It's a symptom, and your liver is at the center of it, because the truth is simple. A tired liver leads to a tired life, and no amount of naps will fix what happens when your body's most important organ can't recover at night. In the next section, we'll bring it all together. You'll learn exactly how to build a plate, a real nourishing meal that supports liver repair with every bite. Not a strict diet, not a temporary cleanse, but a way to eat that tells your body healing starts here. You don't need a miracle pill. You don't need a complicated diet. What your liver needs is a plate, simple, intentional, and built with foods that speak the language of healing. Because every bite you take after 60 is either a message of restoration or a signal to continue the damage. Most people eat reactively. They eat what's quick, what's soft, what's familiar. Toast, rice, crackers, a bit of meat, maybe a fruit. But here's what no one tells you. That type of plate feeds fatigue, not recovery. It leaves your liver overworked, undernourished, and drowning in excess sugars it can't process anymore. The liver isn't a storage unit. It's a living filter, and when it's filled with the wrong materials, refined carbs, industrial, oils, sugary fruits, it clogs, silently, until one day you wake up and feel like your body doesn't respond the way it used to. But it's not age, it's accumulation, and food is how you reverse it. So how should your plate look? Start with bitter and green. Think sautéed spinach, steamed broccoli, arugula, with olive oil and lemon. These aren't side dishes, they're medicine. They contain compounds that support bile production and help the liver flush out accumulated fat. Don't skip them. Next, Add high magnesium foods, a scoop of black beans, a few slices of avocado, even roasted pumpkin seeds on your vegetables. These ingredients give your liver what it lacks, not just calories, but the minerals it uses to run its internal cleanup. Systems: add a clean protein, like grilled sardines, eggs, or small portions of chicken thigh. Protein isn't just about muscle. It supports liver regeneration, helps balance blood sugar, and keeps cravings away later in the day. The liver uses amino acids to build and repair itself. Without them, healing slows down. Then, a slow-digesting carb, like a small serving of quinoa, lentils, or sweet potato, not white rice, not white bread. These carbs feed your energy without flooding your bloodstream. They stabilize your insulin and give your liver a chance to breathe. And lastly, just a touch of healthy fat. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a spoon of ground flaxseed. These fats carry fat-soluble nutrients into the liver and reduce internal inflammation. They don't clog, they clean. What you won't find on this plate: juice, sugar, white flour, processed oils, or any food that spikes insulin and triggers fat storage where you need it least: your liver. This plate isn't restrictive, it's liberating. It says, I'm choosing clarity over confusion, strength over fatigue, dignity over decline. And you don't need to overhaul your life. Just start with one meal, one plate that's built on purpose. Because your liver has been working for decades. It's filtered every chemical, every indulgence, every late-night snack. It's protected you quietly, without asking for thanks. But now, it's asking for help, not in pain, but in signals: swollen legs, restless nights, slow mornings, heavy digestion. Answer it with food. Answer it with intention. Answer it with the plate in front of you, because what you put on that plate is what decides how you move, how you sleep, and how you live. Now, as we close this journey, we'll slow things down. We'll step back from the science and look at what this really means, not just for your liver, but for your freedom, your identity, and the life you still have ahead. Take a breath. Forget the numbers, the studies, the diagnoses. Forget the grams of sugar, the milligrams of magnesium, the names of enzymes you'll never remember. Because at the core of it all, this isn't about nutrients. It's about you. It's about how you move through the world each morning, whether you rise with lightness or with a body that feels like it's turning against you. It's about whether you look forward to meals or fear the bloating, the sluggishness, the discomfort that always seems to follow. It's about whether you feel in control or like your body is slowly slipping through your fingers. But here's the truth that may have been buried under years of misinformation. You are not broken. You are not too old to change. Your liver, even now, has the power to heal, not overnight, not through magic, but meal by meal, night by night, breath by breath. You've lived decades. You've carried responsibilities, raised families, faced losses. You've survived what many never could. Your body has been your companion through it all. Now, it's asking for something simple in return. Support, not punishment, not restriction. Just care, just intention, just food that serves your organs, not your cravings. Rest that rebuilds. Movements that respect your limits, while slowly expanding them. Because this isn't about chasing youth. It's about preserving mobility. And with mobility comes independence. With independence comes identity. And with identity comes freedom. So take this seriously. Not as a rule book, but as a second chance. The food on your plate matters. The rhythm of your sleep matters. The way you listen to your body, not silence it, matters. And if this video spoke to something in you, something deeper than symptoms, something older than pain, then don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Someone you love might be trapped in the same silent fatigue, thinking it's just part of getting old. But now you know better. This journey isn't finished. It's just beginning with the next bite, the next night of real sleep, the next time you choose bitter over sweet, healing over habit. Your liver is waiting. And it's not just your liver that will thank you, it's your future.